A very good morning to all the parents. So I wanted to talk about today, changing the changing world. Okay, and how does physics education fit into this changing world? So the way that you see the world today, what you see is that you have content available, you have free videos available, you have a lot of books available, you know, and question banks are available, and so much is available. Now, what you need for your child when it comes to physics education in this changing world is a physics mentor or a physics facilitator. Okay. Now, this facilitator or mentor has many responsibilities on his or her shoulder. This is just not about physics teaching, right? This is more than that. So if you look into the scope of a physics facilitator, or a physics mentor or a physics guide for your child, there are multiple responsibilities. Okay. Now, if you look into the chart on the screen, what you see, are the responsibilities of a world-class physics mentor. Now, a world-class physics mentor or a teacher is just not, teaching you physics. He is actually engaging with the child in a manner, that brings the best out of your child. Now, to bring the best out of your child, the first thing you need to do is to show confidence in capability of the child. If a child gets the energy that the mentor has no confidence in them, the child will not be able to learn. Just as an example. Now, when it comes to content, so there is no one content which is good, right? You need to have multiple sources. But in physics, you do have one or two very famous books which are followed across the globe. Okay, that's a book I follow. Now, in terms of facilitation, right? You can get your child, or a student the best of question banks, the best of content, and your role as a facilitator of physics education has changed. Maybe 10 years back, the role was you stand in front of a board, give a lecture. But if you look into this generation, you have this generation has access to content on social media, Google, so many YouTube channels are running. But despite abundant availability of all of this, students are still struggling with physics. And the reason is you have dearth of physics mentors and physics facilitators. So when you look for your child's physics education, you really need to ensure that the physics mentor or the physics guide has these qualities. You no longer need a physics guide or a mentor, or so supposedly, a teacher who just comes and blabbers or says something, and that's about it. No, now the generation has curiosity. They want to question the teacher. They want the best of everything. And the way to get all of that is that in the changing world, the physics teacher has to just not act as a teacher, but an overall facilitator. I mean, the physics teacher or the physics mentor now is supposed to be a facilitator. He's supposed to be a career counselor. He's supposed to coach your child. He's supposed to obviously clear the concepts. He's supposed to connect you to the best content available, right? And so on and so forth. So, you have to ensure that not only your physics, your child's physics teacher is doing physics, but is going beyond physics teaching and transforming your child and ensuring that your child, who's moving towards adulthood, is also learning other competencies and is kept motivated, for example. So, I just wanted to talk about this, the role of physics mentor in the changing world. The generation we're dealing with is very different. They're very smart, and they have exposure. So it is very important that you start looking at the role of a physics teacher, as a physics mentor, as a physics facilitator, who brings a lot of best practices, best content, best question bank, and more importantly, motivates your child and shows tremendous interest in the progress of your child. So the world is changing, and so is the case with the teaching methodologies and the role of physics teacher. It is no longer the old 10-year-old world where you could just get away with, speaking for 1.5 hours and then leave the class. So I hope I was able to convey the message. Please feel free to send your messages and comments. I look forward to receive them. And I have been acting as a facilitator now for many years, and I've seen, if you're just a physics teacher, you can no longer be successful. You need to be a real, mentor and a facilitator of physics education, to ensure the child's success. Thank you very much, and best wishes.